हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु।
चलो let's start. नोंदवो अनु अपि माम न्यूनो यद्गुणै नार्दिता प्रभुः
यद्गुणैर्नादिता प्रभु
अतो मद्वयोनम लोकम्
अतो मद्वयोनं लोकम्
ग्राहयन् इह तिष्ठतु
ग्राहयन् इह तिष्ठतु।
नोंदवो अनु अपि मनोन्यूनो
नोदवोऽन्वभिमन्युनो
नोंदवो अनु अपि मन्योनो
नोदवोऽन्वभिमन्युनो
यद्गुणै नार्दिता प्रभुः
यद्गुणैर्नार्दिता प्रभुः
अतो मद्वयोनं लोकम्
अतो मद्वयोनं लोकम्
ग्राहयन् इह तिष्ठतु
ग्राहयन् इह तिष्ठतु।
नोदवो अनु अपि मन्योनो
नोदवोऽन्वभिमन्युनो
नोदवो अनु अपि मन्योनो
नोदवोऽन्वभिमन्युनो
यद्गुणै नार्दितः प्रभुः
यद्गुणैर्नार्दिता प्रभुः
अतो मद्वयोनं लोकम्
अतो मद्वयोनं लोकम्
अतो मद्वयोनं लोकम्
अतो मद्वयोनं लोकम्
ग्राहयन् इह तिष्ठतु
ग्राहयन् इह तिष्ठतु।
नोदवो अनु अपि मन्योनो नार्दितः प्रभुः
यद्गुणैर्नार्दिता प्रभुः
अतो मद्वयोनं लोकम्
अतो मद्वयोनं लोकम्
ग्राहयन् इह तिष्ठतु
ग्राहयन् इह तिष्ठतु।
Yes, anybody?
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी। नोदवो अन्वपि मन्युनो यद्गुणैर्नादिता प्रभुः अतो मद्वयुनां लोकं ग्राहयन् इह तिष्ठतु। हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
Nodavo. Okay, anybody else?
नोदवो अन्वियपि मन्युनो यद्गुणैर्नार्दिता प्रभुः अतो मद्वायुनं लोकं ग्राहयन् इह तिष्ठतु। हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी। नोदवोऽन्वपि मन्युन्नो यद्गुणैर्नार्दितः प्रभु अतो मद्युनं लोकं ग्राहयन्निह तिष्ठतु। हरे कृष्ण प्रभु।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी। नदावो नवपि मननेनो यद्गुणैर्नर्दिता प्रभु अतो मद्वयोनाम लोकम् गृह्यान ईशा तथेस्ततो। हरे कृष्ण।
हरे कृष्ण। नोदवो अन्नपि मन्युन्नो यद्गुणैर्नार्दिता प्रभुः अतो मद्वायुनं लोकं ग्रहयान् इह तिष्ठतु। हरे कृष्ण।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु। नोद्धवो नन्मपि मन्यो यद्गुणैर्नार्दिता प्रभुः हतमद्वायुनं लोकं ग्रहायन् हि इति तितस्तु तिष्ठतु। हरे कृष्ण प्रभु।
Thank you, everybody. Let's now go to the verses. Na, not. Uddavaha, Uddava. Anu, slightly. Api, also. Mad, to myself. Nunaha, inferior. Yet, because. Gunai, by the modes of mental nature. Na, nor. Araditaha, affected. Prabhuhu, master. Ataha, therefore. Madhvayunam, knowledge of me, the personality of Godhead. Lokam, the world. Grahyan, just to decimate. Iha, in this world. Tishtatu, may remain. Uddhava is not inferior to me in any way because he is never affected by the modes of mental nature. Therefore, he may remain in this world in order to disseminate specific knowledge of the personality of God. Uddhava is not inferior to me in any way because he is never affected by the modes of material nature. Therefore, he will remain in this world in order to disseminate specific knowledge of the personality of God. Hare Krishna Supriya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. The specific qualification for becoming the representative of the Lord is to be unaffected by the material modes of nature. The highest qualification of a person in the material world is to be a Brahmana. But since a Brahmana is in the mode of goodness, to be a Brahmana is not sufficient for becoming the representative of the Lord. One has to transcend the mode of goodness also and be situated in the unalloyed goodness, unaffected by any qualities of the material nature. This stage of transcendental qualification is called Shuddha Sattva or Vasudeva. And in this stage, the signs of God can be realized as the Lord is not affected by the modes of the material nature. So a pure devotee of the Lord is also not affected by the modes of nature. That is the primary qualification for being one with the Lord. A person who is able to attain this transcendental qualification is called Jivan Mukta or liberated, even though he is apparently in material conditions. This liberation is achieved by one who constantly engages in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. In Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, it is stated that Iha yasya harer dasya karmana manasa gira nikilasva api avastasu jivan muktaha sa uchyate. Anyone who by his actions, mind, and words lives only for the transcendental loving service of the Lord is certainly a liberated soul, even though he may appear to be in a condition of material existence. Uddhava was in such a transcendental position, and thus he selected to be the factual representative of the Lord in his bodily absence from the vision of the world. Such a devotee of the Lord is never affected by material strength, intelligence, or even renunciation. Such a devotee of the Lord can withstand all onslaughts of material nature, and therefore he is known as Goswami. Only such Goswamis can penetrate the mysteries of the Lord's transcendental loving relationships. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Om Jnanativirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurubhe Namah. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisheshaya Shunyavadi आशातुदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नौधो अनुअपि मां न्यूनो यद्गुणैनार्दितः प्रभुः अतो मद्वयुनमलोकम् ग्राहयन् इह तिष्ठतु. Uddhava is not inferior to me anyway because he is never affected by the modes of material nature. Therefore, he may remain in this world in order to disseminate specific knowledge of the personality of Godhead. So now Krishna is not visible to us. So we need somebody to guide us. And the first qualification is that that person should not be affected by the modes. If somebody is trapped by the modes, he will not be able to lift himself out of the modes, definitely, neither his followers. You can only give something what you have. What you don't have, you cannot give anybody. So if we are also harassed, trapped by the metal modes, then somebody following us will also be trapped, harassed by the metal modes. You cannot give anything which you do not have. Therefore, before becoming merciful on the world, we should become merciful to ourselves. Sometimes we feel we have to give mercy to the world. Actually, even the feeling of being merciful to the world cannot come. Name ruchi, jive daya. Jive daya follows namo ruchi. Am I audible today? Let me just check. Right, maximum possible on the computer. Yeah, it's maximum. So Name Ruchi follows Jive Daya. So unless we have Name Ruchi, we cannot achieve Daya. So definitely Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted us. Amara Agya Guru Bhav Tara E Desh. Yare Deko Tare Kao Krishna Upadesh. He wanted us to do. And we feel, yes, you have to spread mercy of Krishna to everybody. But first you be merciful to yourself. They say, a famous saying, charity begins at home. You don't feed the world, first you eat yourself. You don't feed the world first before feeding your family. Charity begins at home. Similarly, Prabhupada had this principle. There were many instances. The devotees saw Prabhupada having intense compassion. Therefore, very nicely, one devotee said, it was a golden jubilee of Srila Prabhupada leaving India, landing in America. Every devotee is explaining in so many ways that journey. And so sweet was one devotee said, unless you have, and that's Tulsi Gabbard, she said that unless you have the holy name in your tongue and in your heart, you cannot understand why Prabhupada went from India to America. Because he went out of intense compassion. We can't even understand how to live. Nobody from India goes to America out of compassion because people in America are suffering. Anybody's there? Tears in the eye. You cannot even dream of that. What do we think? They are enjoying, they're having nice liquor to drink, They're having beautiful girls to enjoy. They're having a lot of wealth to enjoy. That's what people go to America for. What else they go for? And anybody has come for American return as if they achieve something. You know? And they become enamored. To even get a hint of the compassion in which Prabhupada has gone, we have to have become a devotee first. Because a devotee can be appreciated by only other devotees. If we are not a devotee, we cannot even understand that such a behavior is possible. That somebody can move. That's why we just few shlokas before, we read that Uddhava's Maitreya said to Uddhava, the great devotees of the Lord, they only travel out of compassion to liberate the world. They have no other reason. Narad Muni traveling throughout the universe, what is the reason? Narad Muni Bhajai Vina is moving, traveling throughout the universe. What? Just to get something. He's searching for a beautiful girl in the universe. Is Narad Muni searching? He's searching for some special money somewhere, somebody can give him. Or he's searching for some great honor or respect he can get somewhere. We are roaming around. Dhanam, Janam, Sundarim. There are only three things we roam around in this world. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, a person who is roaming around trying to satisfy his tongue and genitals cannot advance his spiritual life. And we are roaming around for these two things only. We can get nice food to eat, and our day is successful. So no, but this platform of consciousness, Uddhava was in that platform of consciousness. Therefore, Krishna is saying, he represents me. And Bhagavatam also, Uddhava Gita, Krishna says, Guru should not be taken anywhere less than me. He totally represents me. But then Guru has to have some qualification. And what is the qualification of the Guru? Is totally out of three modes of mental nature and can bring the compassion of Krishna. Samsara dava nalalidha loka taranaya karunya ghana ghana tvam prapta se kalyana gunana bhasya vande guroshi charanaravinda. Correct. Therefore, people bow down every day to the Guru because he brings the mercy of Krishna. Actually, Krishna is most merciful, definitely. He is the origin of mercy. But through the devotee, he becomes more merciful. He doesn't show highest mercy directly. He shows highest mercy through a devotee. Just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he personally was about to kill Jagai and Malai. But Nityananda Prabhu, who represents the first Guru, Adi Guru, requested him to be merciful to Jagai and Malai. So Chaitanya said, I'm going to kill them. Nityananda Prabhu said, no, please save them. So that is the position of Guru. And he is more merciful. And Krishna is most merciful, definitely, obviously, the supreme greatest personality. How he cannot be most merciful? But it doesn't show it directly, it shows it through the devotee. So that is devotee the worship more than him. Now Krishna is saying, see, Uddhava is nowhere less than me. He has all the knowledge. What you will do when you get meet Krishna? You will get knowledge. Uddhava carries all the knowledge. Therefore, a great personality, Uddhava is called Kripa Avatara, is a mercy incarnation. He carries the mercy of Krishna. And that is what is being done by Uddhava here, carrying Krishna's mercy. And no way he is less. Therefore, there is a Prabhupada is quoting one shloka, is a famous shloka from Rupa Goswami. Iyayasya haredase karmana manasa gira nikhilata shapa apiyavasthashu jivan mukta sa uchyate. Is jivan mukta sa uchyate. Who? Karmana manasa gira. By his activities, by his mind and his body, is constantly serving Krishna. So not only we are doing activity, but you should know what consciousness we are doing activity. Correct? We're very happy. I'm engaged in preaching Krishna consciousness. That's very nice. But with what consciousness? Otherwise, unless you are pure, you cannot feel the pleasure of Krishna consciousness. what you will share. Theory is not of much use. People can hear theory from 100 years from you. They'll not be able to, unless they smell Krishna consciousness, they will not be able to uh, elevate themselves. Just like Srila Prabhupada spoke, not only people clapped, they gave their life also. A different way of the presentation. Sometimes we become very happy. We give some speech, as if it was, oh, it was so nice, it was so wonderful. But they'll not give their life. They'll not give their life. Giving life is not easy. Now we lost the power to make people give life, so we say, no, they're clapping and we are happy. No, sir, don't be so satisfied. Giving life is not easy. Prabhupada was very powerful. People came and gave life. Suppose Krishna comes to the town. What you will do? You'll not give your life or what? You'll follow at Krishna's feet. Krishna is here. I'm yours. Anna? You'll offer yourself or not? Or you still think about something? No, Krishna, I have that duty and I have that work. What is your duty and what is your work? You'll not be able to dedicate yourself. Sarva dharman parityaja. What does it mean? Anything which does not lead to surrender to Krishna, we throw it away. But we will not be able to do that. And neither we will be able to inspire anybody to do that. Then you do not do. Then you keep 100 items, this also should be there, this also should be there. Then you will not give your life. You keep with yourself. You will hesitate. They say, no, you hesitate, don't delay, don't doubt. You will doubt also, you will delay also. There was once one brahmachari, he met Srila Prabhupada. So Prabhupada, he was a full-time Prabhupada. He says, Prabhupada, I can stay outside also and come to temple sometime. Prabhupada said, yes, you can do that. Now Prabhupada, then I can get married also and, come sometimes to temple. Yes, you can do that. Prabhupada, when I get married, no, I will not be able to come to temple regularly. Sometimes I'll come to temple. I'll practice at my place only. Yes, you can do that. And he got totally confused then. And then next day, Prabhupada was about to leave somewhere. I think it says Prabhupada was going for a shower. And that's not the time you stop somebody. Prabhupada. I said, yes, what's your problem? No, yesterday everything you said yes. I'm totally confused. Prabhupada said, you don't know how to serve your spiritual master. Correct? See, what happens is like this. When it comes to ourselves, we want the best. We want the best mobile. We want the best laptop. We want the best clothes. We want the best food. We want the best bed. For ourselves, we want everything best. When it comes to Krishna, we like to give the worst. And that shows our devotion. We like to give, we are ashamed to give the best of ourselves to Krishna. And we give all kind of silly excuses. Yeah, that's also okay. Why not you give the best? And then your real faith comes out. There was once one devotee, he is Raghav Pandita. He was very, very, very dear to Krishna, Lord Chaitanya. And what he used to do actually is that he used to cook so tasty that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to personally come and eat. Not only he used to cook tasty, he used to offer us so much love he used to offer that Krishna used to sometimes empty the plate just to convey to him, I ate. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, once glorifying, he talks about just coconut water. It's a small thing to offer coconut water. So it's very nicely used to offer. And sometimes when he used to coconut come outside, he used to say there is no water. Lord drank it, DT drank it. Lord Chaitanya used to drink it. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu notes the instance once that one of the servant, pujaris, was bringing an offering. And while bringing the offering, it touched the ceiling or the door, top of the door while entering. And while entering, and then the pujari touched the coconut. He threw that coconut out. And Chaitanya notes why? Because people are walking in and out, the dust will be there on the top of the door, and you put the dust hand on that and put on that. Therefore, particularly when doing pujari or cooking service, we don't touch our nose, ears, anything. We have to wash. Correct? Prabhupada, and particularly when he went to America, he had in the beginning he cooked alone, served alone. Later, some people came to help him. So Prabhupada said, had one problem. Every second, wash your hand. And then all the devotees were initially with Prabhupada. They said, first thing we learned was wash hand, because we put our hand here, we put our hand here. And we are just wash, wash. Really just washing hand most of the time, because we do not know sattvic habits. And we're not used to that sattvic kind of living. So anyway, so the Prabhupada used to, So similarly, Raghu Pandita also was so strict. Chaitanya notes that the coconut, he used to travel for miles to get very tasty coconut for the deity. Small thing often, and it is noticed by the Lord. He's offering with, and he won the heart of the Lord. It is said that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appears certain places. One place is in front of Sachimata when she's making an offering. Another place is Raga Pandita is making an offering. And third place, when Nityananda Prabhu is dancing, he immediately appears there. And he used to watch the dancing of Lord Nityananda, which is full of spiritual ecstasy. Yeah. We also sometimes dance, that's okay. Then we got drum beats are there. Just like in marriage in India, people play nice drum beats and people are dancing. That the kind of dancing in Kirtan we can also do, correct? In marriage in India, there are drum beats put, and all the people dance. So sometimes in Kirtan we are dancing and we are thinking, I'm also dancing Lord Nityananda. But actually, even if there is no mridang or kartal, you can dance if you have ecstasy. Only when there is a crowd around you and drum beats are stronger, you're dancing. That's out of bile, not out of the heart. You know, that's a liver function, not heart function. Some people dance from the liver, some people from the heart. Liver means, gives you a lot of energy and you're dancing. You are young and you're jumping. And see, I've become ecstatic in spiritual life. Good. You chant the holy name, you dance, it's good for your spiritual life. Definitely. Definitely. Prabhupada used to say, anybody chants the holy name of Krishna and dances will become ecstatic. But just to discriminate between us and Nityananda, Nityananda Prabhu is dancing out of ecstasy. And we are dancing out of our maybe health. And that has no Krishna consciousness. So, and neither Lord Chaitanya is going to come and watch that. And so-called dancing, and then we are back to material life after the dance is over. Coming back to, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so he noted the service, so quality service. So our focus should be not only to do service, to do the service with quality. And then that service pleases the Lord. And when Krishna is pleased with the service, beginning with chanting the holy name of the Lord is pleased with the service, then there is purification. And when the heart is pure, we can feel the compassion of Krishna. We can feel the compassion of Vaishnavas, and we can share that compassion. We develop the mood of compassion, correct? And then we spread. Otherwise, the normal person in this world, his behavior is what? If he sees a person senior to him, he's envious. If he sees a person equal to him, he makes friendship. If a person junior to him, he rejects him, kicks him. That's why in the world people deal with. When they meet somebody, they weigh him. Weigh means how much he is important, how much he is rich, how much he is respectable. And they make relative. If they find that is getting more respect than me and more attention, they get jealous of him. And they find somebody who's less respectable than him, they just kick him. That's how the world is moving. And we are also come from material world only, and still we are in the modes. We are also affected by that kind of behavior. But Krishna conscious behavior is different. When we see somebody is more senior than ourselves, we take mercy. And when we see somebody, a new person, we give mercy. That is Krishna conscious behavior. And that is what was seen by devotees in dealing with Prabhupada. He was so merciful to the people. And therefore, Prabhupada was so effective in preaching Krishna consciousness. When people came to him, Prabhupada dealt with them very, very mercifully. Actually, devotees are struggling. Even four regulated principles for not all, for some devotees was difficult because in America it's difficult. The Prabhupada was very compassionate, very, very compassionate and very touching. Sometimes they used to leave, go away, and then used to fall at Prabhupada's feet. When famous Mr. Prabhupada was giving class, a devotee came back after having left for some time. In fact, one devotee asked devotee, what did Prabhupada say? When I came to know, I left this movement. So Prabhupada said, he said, Prabhupada was crying. So immediately came and again took shelter of Prabhupada. So it's not easy to dedicate ourselves to serve Acharya. It's not easy. But our problem is we like to give the worst, not the best. Then see, I tell you, you can do all this natak. At heart of you, you know you're doing natak. You cannot cheat Krishna. And then at the end of life, you will yourself regret. Anyway, I'm dying now. I did not serve Krishna to best of my capacity. Correct? We'll ourselves regret. You know, you can fool yourself, you cannot fool Krishna. You'll yourself also regret one day. I did not serve Krishna to the best of my capacity. Even if you are a liberated person, even if you are some paramamsa that you are not, you are imagining, you will regret. Correct? I did not serve Krishna. I could have served Krishna much more. But I was lost in my so-called hallucinations. I was lost in my so-called ahankara. And I could not do anything. Even if you are a pure devotee, your ticket to Goloka is there, which is not there, which is not true. Even Bharat Maharaj had to take birth again. You're not going to get a special concession. Even slight material desire, you take birth again. We have what slight? We are loaded with material desires. And even if you are in hallucination that your ticket is done, still you will try to help people. Suppose your ticket to Goloka is done, signed, you have in your pocket. Want to help some people, also come to Goloka. Correct? अरे अपना the ticket, आपका the ticket हो गया तो you will not take some other people. सोचे ततो में मुकचेत स इंद्रियार्थ माया सुखाय भरमुद्भवतो में मोढ़ा. Prahlad Maharaj famous line repeating again. He says, I lament for the people who are bahirmukha, who have taken their faith away from Krishna, my Lord. I lament for them. Maya sukaya bharmudvato mimodhan. They're lost in the material desire. Bharam udvato mimodhan. These fools are lost in the material desire. My Lord, I'm lamenting for them. Shoche tato me mukachet sa indriyartha maya sukaya bharamudvato vimudhan. Vimudhan means this totally foolish people. What can I do? I'll lament. And Prabhupada, the whole life is in the same mood. Why Prabhupada is sleeping 2 hours? Generally, elderly people sleep a lot. Correct? Anybody. We have little pain in the body, something. They say, let me take a little more rest. When we advance in age, there's a lot of difficulty. Why Prabhupada is hardly sleeping? Out of compassion. Why Prabhupada is writing? Out of compassion. Why Prabhupada is preaching? Out of compassion. Correct? Why he was giving association? Out of compassion. Whole life is drinking nectar of Krishna consciousness, and whole life is sharing mercy. So, and the great Acharya is embodiment of mercy. What do you do when you go to deities? Beg mercy. Please be merciful to me. Once somebody asked Srila Prabhupada, what are you praying? Prabhupada was crying and praying. So when Prabhupada finished prayer, he came, what are you praying, Prabhupada? Now I was praying, please keep me in Krishna consciousness. That is not for him, that is for us. He's training us. That is what you should pray. Correct? What do you pray to the deities? I should get that, I should get that, I should get that, I should get that. No. What do you pray to the deities? Please be merciful to me so I can stay in Krishna consciousness. So this is what Uddhava was, and therefore Krishna is saying, and there's a similar thing Krishna says in Uddhava Gita also 11th canto. Acharya mam vijani. No one acharya to be exactly. In no way you should disrespect an acharya. Correct? So in the same way, a personality like Uddhava is very advanced, and in fact, Prabhupada says, first we learn to serve a great acharya, then we know what is service to Krishna. When first we learn to take the dust of the feet of an acharya, and then we smell the dust of tulsi on Krishna's lotus feet. So first we learn to obey the acharya very carefully, and then the pleasure of service to Krishna, Krishna will shower. Prabhupada says we have no access to Krishna consciousness without the mercy of an acharya. We have no access. That domain we cannot enter. It's a spiritual domain. We cannot enter. So because Uddhava carries Krishna within his heart, we saw already how much ecstasy he showed in describing Krishna. And even Vidura, morning we were reading how Vidura came to know from Uddhava that Krishna remembered him before he left the world. And Vidura wasn't totally lost himself. Could not believe Krishna was so merciful. He remembered me before he left the world. Vidura opened his mouth and loudly started crying. He totally lost control of himself. But Krishna is so merciful. Okay, so this is an inspiration for us. And live only for the transcendent loving soul, that a certainly liberated soul, even though he may appear in a condition of material existence. Even though it looks like that, not. And Prabhupada says, only such Goswamis can penetrate the mystery of the Lord, transcendent loving relationships. You have nothing to lose when you surrender to Krishna. The more you surrender to Krishna, the more the mercy of Krishna become accessible to us. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, everybody.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Krishna Prabhuji Dandavat.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji Sastram Dandavat
Hare Krishna
Pranam.
Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam
Krishna
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji. Dandavad Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.